the Trade Desk, ticker TTD. Um, I used to own this one, and I no longer do. But I'm not necessarily bearish on the company. I think it's a decent pick. It's sort of complex what they do. But to try and make it simple, like when you open a web page on your computer or on your phone and you see adverts, in most of the time, because they're one of the dominant players, the Trade Desk, they were involved in deciding which advert you would see. And and you can imagine that like there's a lot of sort of privacy, important like private information about the things I'm interested in based on, the Reddit sites I look at, the Reddits and the other things I've bought and stuff I'm researching and maybe, just things that my eyes seem to linger on a bit longer. Like the internet knows the stuff you're interested in probably better than you do. And so your preferences, the Trade Desk, and it's a demand side platform. The Trade Desk representing like the agencies that are buying ad space. There's an auction takes place with the supply side platforms, and there's a whole bunch of those. Albeit the Trade Desk now sits on both sides as well sometimes. And then between these sort of two sides, an auction takes place that decides which adverts I see. And this is like the backbone of how like pretty much all content on the internet monetized, like advertising. And at the moment, like the dominant player is Alphabet, and to a lesser extent, like Meta, when you see adverts on their sites, like that's their own advertising solutions kicking in. When you're on Google, Google powers most of the advertising on the entire internet. But if you want to come outside what's termed the walled garden of those sites, and you're an advertiser or you want to buy ad space, then using companies like the Trade Desk helps you get like a good deal. Either, you sell your ad to the right places and you get like a good return on the ad, or you sell like the space you have on the website and you get like good advertisers that pay you like a nice amount of money. So, like or loathe advertising, like it's one of the biggest businesses in the world, and the Trade Desk are a key player. So I think it's a fitting. It deserves its place in our top 5.
This is one of those companies that Monkey has owned and not owned and studied for years. And it's a little humbling to admit that I don't think I fully understand, like in that deep down bones level, why TTD has a moat that won't somehow be, encroached on. And this is now, in this moment, you I think now know that I have a fairly increased skepticism about what I would call software AI-ish adjacent plays. And any time I read or hear the what this company does, I'm like, yep, great, awesome. And then I hear, right, and Amazon wants a part of this. And what company doesn't want a chunk of this? And I cannot deep down explain to anyone why this won't be disrupted.
I got out of this stock. I did pretty well actually with my timing. I got out like a month before it really started to nosedive, and then from a peak, like the I don't know the valuation, but like the stock price got to a peak of like $39 in December 2024. Sorry, no, that's not correct. It got to a peak of $139, and now it's $39. So you got like owned if you owned this stock over the last 12 months. Like I say, I got out with my tail between my legs because the same thing. Like I could see how, like I say, really for me, like agentic commerce and AI was really going to disrupt the advertising industry. And to me, in my mind, like the companies that were positioned to benefit from that are like the Alphabets and the walled gardens, and like the rest of advertising is going to have big problems.
Exactly. So here's my challenge to our Wall Street wildlife community. I'm talking to you, beasties, right now. I have a suspicion that the reason our community nominated TTD is out of some kind of anchoring biases revolving price. that they're saying, oh, look, it used to be this high and it was this great company, always expensive. It is an excellent company. But now, look, it's about $40 per share, and it used to be, so much higher that we want to buy it now. And I'm saying, careful, beasties, because of exactly what I'm saying. I can't, for myself, explain why this won't be disrupted, especially if Amazon, like I keep going, if Amazon wants a piece of your pie, oh, they're going to get a piece of your pie, and so this is my direct challenge to our beasties. Can somebody please on our Patreon school Monkey why TTD will in fact successfully fend off the attacking gorillas, and why they do have a moat, and why they will in fact end up safe. Thank you, please, and thank you.
Yeah, that'd be interesting on that point. But I think maybe just to pull out a few sentences from our community nominators nomination of the TTD: 20% plus revenue growth, strong margins, sticky client base with 95% retention rate. So these are good numbers. 20% growth isn't like setting the world on fire, but when you are like, the big dog in, outside of the walled gardens, and they were a very big company, like that's good revenue growth if you can keep it up. And, revenue retention of 95%, I guess that's good. Like maybe you might want to see that higher. I think about a different number, which is dollar-based net retention. And I don't know what that is for the trade desk. But if dollar-based net retention is like north of 110, 120%, that would be a good sign that advertisers are spending more. I don't know what it is though. Maybe, that's my request. The community tell us about the Doughnut for TTD as well.
Yeah.